All right, folks, we are here. BEG Wrestling Live, Fridays Live. Co-host Kevin on the line, and it's the off season, but folks, we have a lot to cover this week. In fact, Fargo recap. We're going to break down the Penn State lineup. We have the Olympic betting odds, which are out. And folks, we have Wrestle Madness calling in. We're going to break down a 57-pound weight class bracket. Wrestle Madness doing each weight class bracket online. Folks, check them out, WrestleMadness.com. They're going to be calling in around 6:30 roughly. But as always, folks, we have Kevin here. Kevin, welcome to the show. How was your week, man?
What's up? Good, man. You?
Good.
Things are good. Good.
Yeah. On vacation last week. We didn't have Dad on the show on Tuesday. And, boy, I have a traveling story to tell you. But that's not for now. But because now is for Kevin's space here, folks. And the first 15 minutes, Kevin's going to break down everything that has happened in the past week. Kevin, let's throw it to you. All yours.
Thanks, bud. Fargo, obviously, huge event. A lot of wild stuff going on there. The thing I noticed right off the bat, and I know there's a couple of people that were touching base, is how atrocious the seeds were. Now, you might think that, maybe people are just being overcritical, going, what are they expecting? 1 versus 2 in the final and 3 versus 4 for third? No, we're talking atrocious. I wanted to just give you some quick stats here on how bad the seeds were. I went through and kind of broke them down into, what is what. And there's 15 weight classes in the junior freestyle, Zach, and only 3 number 1 seeds made the final out of 15. Only 3 number 2 seeds made the final out of 15. Okay. Yep. They seed up to 32 places, right, in each weight. And there was 2 unseeded wrestlers that made the finals. So there was almost as many unseeded wrestlers outside the top 32 that made the finals as 1 and 2 seeds, which that in itself is mind-blowing.
Sounds like parity.
Oh, well, you could say that. That would be a positive outlook on that. Yeah, absolutely. How about this? 60% of the All-Americans were double-digit seeds or lower. And here's a good one. Almost a quarter, 23% of the All-Americans were seeded 20th or lower. So a quarter of the All-Americans, that's crazy. And there was, like, for instance, there were 215 pounds. We had an unseeded versus a 5 seed in the final, a 16 seed versus a 30 seed for third, 11 versus 24 for fifth, and then an unseeded versus 23rd for seventh. They only had one guy seated in the top 10 that even made the podium in that weight. So and as I'm going through, I went through and kind of looked at 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, and there was at least a third of every single seed didn't All-American. So at least a third of the 1 seeds, a third of the 2 seeds, going all the way down, at least a third. So they definitely should look at redoing how they do that, because it does matter. You want to see the best 2 guys face in the final. One thing I will say, Willie does a really good job with seeding the high school kids and stuff, and give it to him, man. Let him do that seeding. He's really good at it. And this kind of stuff would happen.
Kind of mentioned the same thing that you did.
But not to sound all negative, though, because there was some amazing matches. If everybody caught Melvin Miller's match at 157, Melvin Miller's a freshman, and it was unbelievable. He was down. He needed 2 takedowns with about 10 seconds left. He got 1. And then with 4 seconds left, he gets not only the single but ankle, but gets the other leg too, and is able to trap it and get the takedown. It was an unbelievable comeback. Kid's got ice in his veins, and
I saw
he's
that,
only
man.
a
Flood
freshman.
posted that everywhere. That's a dog right there, man. That's the last second.
That was sick. That
Impressive.
was sick, man. Unbelievable. That kid is so tough, and I mean, he's 157. It's crazy. So that was exciting. Bo Bassett gave his golden ticket to Zepeda to to rematch him for who's number one coming up, and that was a who's number one match a couple years back, and Zepeda pinned him. So
I know. I am looking forward to that. There's been a little talk going on back and forth. Maybe not talk going on necessarily back and forth between them, but maybe some behind the scenes, some gestures being made.
Yeah, and like they were even talking on Flow, saying how Zepeda went up to the table after his match and he slammed his fist down and he goes, "Remember, I'm the number one guy in the country." So
yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about.
yeah.
Saying it without saying his name. Just want to remind everyone. Go ahead.
That was cool, though. And so then another thing I kind of broke down was the colleges. What colleges did what at Fargo? Meaning, who out of the 15 champions, which of them are committed and where are they committed? And it was kind of surprising. Now, you're basically dealing with all guys in the class of 2025 in this. For the junior, I'm talking about the junior because obviously the U16s aren't committed yet. And of course, I'm going to bring something up like this when Cornell has the most champions. You got to expect that.
Yeah, that's
right.
Didn't see that coming. Also, didn't see Virginia Tech with 2 there.
I'll tell you what, man. Virginia Tech has recruits coming in like you wouldn't believe. They got a couple really good transfer portal guys in Wolak. They took the Penn coach as their assistant. I mean, dude, watch out for Virginia Tech. I think they're going to be a trophy team in like I'd say 3 years. I think they're going to be a trophy team.
I tell you
if
what,
anybody
man,
ever remembers to go back to this.
I hear that would not surprise me, man. I just keep hearing them coming up, and I'm looking into them. Another school I'm looking into, West Virginia, man.
Their recruiting is. Yeah, West Virginia, another school that really has been stepping up, man. It's good to see a lot of those southern schools.
Sorry, Kevin, real quick, West Virginia, I'm going to be reaching out. They're right down the road from me.
No, go ahead.
I'm going in the off season, man. As soon as practices start back
really?
up, I'm going to be getting in the room there, whatever it takes. That's right. But go ahead.
Yeah, get a hold of Bracky there, the guy that was on Flow there. Bracky did the alien hour
right there, looking at it.
So. Looking at this too, here's the thing: is I kind of dug even a little deeper than this. I went and I listed what all the placements, all the All-Americans, which schools had what for All-Americans, right? And Cornell, besides the 3 champions, they had they did pretty well. They had the 3 other place finishers, including Yanni's little brother Greg, who was a Fargo champ last year. He's at 190, so he's the not so little brother. But then also, I couldn't believe Oklahoma. Do you have that? Okay,
I wasn't sure. Yep.
Put that up.
That one's up. Go. Yep.
Thanks. So looking at this, it's kind of mind blowing, and we're not talking about Oklahoma State, folks. We're talking about Oklahoma. Oklahoma Sooners are doing some stuff in recruiting. In case anybody hasn't noticed. They had a 2 runner-ups, 3 third-place finishers, 2 fourth place, a 5th, and a 7th. They didn't have a champion, but they had 9 All-Americans. That was the most of any college. Virginia Tech, obviously, besides the 2 champs, they had 4 other place finishers. And, I just wrote a few other notables in there. I just, a few of the Big Ten schools that everybody usually, is interested in hearing about. And, yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Now, Cornell and Virginia Tech's 2025 classes are sick. Cornell's got 8 guys in the top 50, which is crazy. That's 20% of the top 50 guys they got coming in. And Virginia Tech, too, watch out for them. They have a load of guys coming in. So, yeah, this is it. It was a good Fargo for these teams for sure.
I tell you what, man. Now, listen, I see some schools that are we're not used to seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know there's going to be a lot of Penn State fans will be like, well, we can't get a class like we had every year in 2024. I get it, man. Like Cornell, they do like every other year. Every other year is a bomb class, and then they're down, And when you got the class like Penn State has for 2024, they're not going to get another group of hammers like that, knowing that they're not going to be able to start most likely, So I get it, but still pretty wild. Did you see any Fargo things that impressed you at all? Or
No, I didn't because I was stuck trying to get back here from
oh,
vacation, Kevin. But
oh
I do plan
man,
on catching up,
sounds
so that's why you're
yeah,
so valuable
definitely.
to the show,
Sh-
man.
I'll send you an email with some matches. There was a lot of good matches, but um, another thing. Let's see here. Oh, I wanted to kind of. I've seen a couple of podcasts about Penn State lineups, and man,
So
they're all over the place. I wanted to just run through real quick what we've talked about here at BEG on what we kind of think is going to happen. And because I mean, I'm watching podcasts where people are saying Kazak is going to be at 141, and I'm just like, what are? And it's just not even like he's not even going to make 49. Um, so when you're looking at the Penn State lineup, this is kind of what we've talked about. Me, Zach, his dad, and me when we were going through. But we think that Braden Davis's time is over at 125. Lilladal is ready to go right off the bat. Freshman, look for him to make the podium, if not win the whole thing at 125. 133. I know Nagau's got a bad shoulder, right? He used his red shirt, so if he can get, he's either going to be healthy. If he's healthy, he's the pick. If he's not healthy, maybe they'll try and get him a medical because I doubt they're going to want to just waste a year of eligibility. And if they get the medical, then it would be Braden Davis at 133. But I think Davis could really use a red shirt year, man. Really just get him going with that offense because he kind of got stagnant at NCAA's. He kind of was just, and hey, man, he's a freshman at NCAA's #1 seed. The pressure's got to be crazy, but he's got to open up more, and I think a year will do him good.
Well, I would agree with that, but to counter that argument, dude, he went into the NCAAs as #1 seed. Now all of a sudden, he had a bad tournament, and you're jumping to the conclusion that now he needs to take a red shirt. Whoa! But we have verified that he's put on a little weight. He's not exactly going to be at 125.
Yeah, absolutely. And 133 is going to be a lot different than you're gonna have top end guys like Bailey and Crookham, and these guys are monstrous. These guys, I don't know how those two make 133, by the way, but they're huge. And then
also you verified Lillendahl is a dog. Lillendahl is a dog with a chance to win year one.
I think he might even be my pick.
Whoa!
I know that's crazy. But
BEG rankings coming out soon, folks.
That's right. So stay tuned. Maybe he will be the #1 seed.
That would be some breaking news. Go ahead.
So 41, no brainer. That's Bartlett coming back for his senior year, and he'll compete for a title. 49, Van Ness is coming back. That's his weight, and they're not. He has a red shirt to burn, but he just sat all last year. They're not going to have him sit again this year, in my opinion, and then have Kazak go 49. And speaking of Kazak, he missed weight at the junior trials for 70 kilograms, which is 154.3 pounds. He missed weight. Junior trials is a big deal to people. Some people are like, it was junior trials. He didn't care. No, people really want to win a cadet and a junior world title. And he was right up there with the best of them. I was looking forward to him and PJ Duke wrestling, to be honest with you, if he would have made the weight. But so if he's having trouble making 154 right now, and he's a young kid, he's still growing, look for him to go 157 next year, in my opinion.
Which means I'm not seeing Levi. What are you telling us, Kevin?
Down at the I'm telling you that Levi Haynes, no matter what, will not be at 157 next year. It's already out of his head. It's done. He will not be at 157. I know people have speculated about Messenbrink going down to 57, but here's the thing. Why would Messenbrink do that? He is going to be the guy to beat at 65 next year. He doesn't have to go down to 57. So then the question becomes, all right, so does Haynes go up to 74? And I'm not saying that Haynes can't beat Messenbrink in a wrestle-off. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I believe that Haynes is really big, was really big for 57, and could be a 74-pounder. I think maybe he's not fully grown into 74 yet, which is why I think a red shirt would do him good. Kind of, bulk up a little bit more. So when he comes off next year, he's right in that 74-pound weight. Plus, Facundo's already used his red shirt. So if you sit Facundo, that's just wasting a year, right, of eligibility. So this way, you get to use Facundo's year. Haynes gets the red shirt. You got Kazak in there. Everything is good to go so far.
I agree with that. I also just heard you say that Messenbrink is beating Levi, right?
No.
Well,
I don't know about that.
More times than not, pretty much was your estimate.
I don't know.
Well, who would it be then,
know.
Kevin? Who would you picking that?
Man, that would be because you got a defense, a hell of a defense versus a hell of an offense. I don't know, man. That would be a great match.
I always pick offense.
Yeah.
But I love them both.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be tough. Anyway, go
studs,
ahead.
Man. So then the question is like, okay, so everything's working out good so far. And just to be clear, they don't need Haynes in the lineup to win a national title next year. So I know some people are like, well, you got to get Haynes in there. Come on. They won by 100 points last year. It's going to be pretty, gross this year too. So then you got Joshua Barr, who he took a shirt this past year, right? You also have Zach Ryder at this weight, who a lot of people think he took a shirt, but he was a senior in high school. He is a senior in high school right now. He just forewent his senior year of eligibility in order to train with David Taylor. So I think the thing to do here, regardless of who wins, who's better, is you put Barr at 84 and you redshirt Ryder. That leaves Starocki up to 97. Now, I know some people have said Starocki's going 84. I don't know. If he went 84, go ahead.
Wouldn't Barr when they just flip-flop then? Maybe.
Well, then do you put Marisola in at 97? Or are you going to redshirt him no matter what?
They're redshirting Marisola no matter what, I think. They got long.
Well, it depends. Maybe Cal wants to remain the only 4-year champ undefeated. So he throws Marisola in like he did Zane. I'm just kidding.
Well, we do see a lot of selfishness out of Cal, right. So that wouldn't surprise.
Oh yeah, that's in his character, right?
That's right down his avenue.
So yeah, when you're looking at this lineup, Zach, I really think like the questions become: okay, 33, is it Nagao? Is he healthy, or is it Davis? And then I don't think there's really many questions up until is Haynes redshirting or not. Messenbrink already took a red shirt. Kazak could redshirt, but in order to do that, you'd almost have to put Messenbrink down to 57, put Haynes in at 65.
And that's not happening.
That's
where it gets
a little
This is
hairy.
what it's going to be, folks. This is the Penn State lineup next year. Pretty much 95%. Lock it in, barring an injury, barring Nagao's on the fence. I'm actually 49% on Nagao. I don't think he's going to be in that starting lineup, Kevin. But that might be the only thing that we see differently.
You think so because of injury, or do you think because he's not good enough? See, I think he's better than Davis.
Reports
still.
are already in that he's injured, and
right.
Okay, what? He's just all of a sudden not going to ever get injured again? I mean, he's shown us what his track record is. He gets injured, so even if he gets healthy now, he's more likely to get injured again. I see Braden Davis at the end of the year being in that lineup.
You want to talk about a guy that took it, got hot at the right time. Nagao. Nagao got hot at that, right at the end of the season in 2023. He didn't have a really good regular season that year. People forget. He got hot, and then he went to Penn State. He had a decent regular season last year, but, man, if you get hot at the right time, next thing you know, you're wrestling in Penn State's lineup. But so this is going to be fun to see how it plays out. And then it's funny too, Zach, real quick, is the next year, then you got like PJ Duke coming in and stuff, and these guys are going to be real grateful for like Olympic red shirts because they're going to have to put a puzzle together to get these guys to not lose eligibility.
Well, we're going to see people leaving. We're going to see people start leaving.
Right.
We're going to see NIL start paying people in other areas. But Kevin, I think that's all you had.
Yep, that's it. Thanks.
I know you did have the Olympic folks before. We have Aaron from Wrestle Madness. I always say it wrong, so I want to make sure I say it right. Wrestle Madness. He's here to break down. He's in the green room right now, folks. After that, we have the Olympic seeding gambling odds, folks, that We're going to be breaking down. Now, that's the kind of stuff I can get into, Kevin. Some gambling odds, folks. And I know Cole Young in the comments, he's our gambling specialist, is going to call in at that time. But we have, hold on. Aaron, can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you. I can see you.
All right. All right. Aaron, welcome to the show. And hey, we appreciate you calling in and designating. I don't mind. Let's do this kind of going forward, a Wrestle Madness segment. You're doing a fantasy brackets for each weight class. Now, we did finalize the heavyweight weight class just last week or the week before, and I believe Gable Stevenson won that. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, he beat Snyder in the finals. He beat Hasselrig in the semis. My boy Bruce Baumgartner, my old head coach from Edinburgh, came in fourth place. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And hearing you guys talk about it a couple weeks ago on your show, it's exactly what we were hoping to achieve with this off-season event that we put together, was just to get the chatter going, getting the talk going, exposing people to these legends of our sport. And it's been real fun to dive in and find out more about some of these names that I've always heard of coming up through the wrestling ranks. And yeah, hope it.
Yeah. No, well, Aaron, I'll say this. Not only is it fun, I mean, it's just fun to go and do these brackets, but it also, I mean, I just found myself naturally looking up and researching a lot of these wrestlers. Like you said, you're learning about them because, look, there's a name will come up I don't necessarily know a lot about, so I have to go do my research. I don't want to make a dumb pick. Now, I believe my semifinals was Kyle Snyder was in there. I think Bruce, obviously Gable, and, man, now I can't even remember. Kevin, it was another big name I was getting a little bit of criticism for.
Did you have McCoy in there?
No, I did not have McCoy.
No?
It was someone else, but
I had Stephen Neal. I liked him, but man, Aaron, this is brilliant. Like this whole thing, I love it. And like Zach said, it gets people talking about the studs of that aren't necessarily brought up anymore, and hopefully gets the younger guys looking into these, watching some film, about Bruce Baumgartner, Steve Neal, and I'm excited every time. I can't wait to see the rest of the brackets. I'm itching.
yeah,
Well,
Aaron's
I'll
here
tell
to
you
break
what,
down 157. Aaron, yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
I was just going to say, spoiler alert, 158, 165 will be fire. That bracket is loaded with a couple four-timers, but they're all fun, and we can't wait to put them all out there, but one at a time. And you guys want to talk some 50, 57-pound goat?
I do.
Matt?
By the way, before we do that, I had Brock Lesnar was my other semifinalist.
Oh,
But
yeah,
Aaron, I'm sorry, I didn't introduce you properly. If there's anything you kind of want to introduce us to Wrestle Madness, where we can find them, how we can join these brackets and join this conversation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. WrestleMatness.com, and when you go immediately on the homepage, you'll see an orange button that says "Join the Madness," and you click on that. If you haven't done it yet, you'll have to create a profile for yourself, and you are now a member. And you can play all of our events currently for free, and you can immediately go to the current events that are up and begin voting on these weight classes as we go through them for the next month or so.
Yeah, and you guys have ongoing things. I know I was part of the Olympic trials brackets that you guys had, and there was a women's and a men's. I participated in both. Fared pretty well in the men's, but it was that was fun. You guys had a lot of participants in that. In fact, it was broken down into groups. But
Yep.
yeah, so you guys have ongoing
my
things
brother
throughout the
Clint
year,
is,
not only in addition to this.
Correct. Yeah, my brother's dropping. Clint is dropping the Olympic Games brackets as we speak, so they'll be up on the website maybe as early as tonight, if not tomorrow. So you can join that. And as you were mentioning, you can join private leagues. You can jump into the open tournament and play against all Wrestle Madness competitors. on that. But get your friends, your family together, your coaching staffs, your ex wrestling teammates, put a league together, and see who picks the best. That's the idea.
Folks, it's
On those
fantasy
Awesome.
wrestling. It's fantasy wrestling, and I can tell you this: BEG Wrestling, we're teaming up with Wrestle Madness here for this upcoming season. Our fantasy league, okay, folks. So BEG Wrestling Fantasy League. So Aaron, we'll connect with you after this, but yeah, definitely going to be utilizing your services. Now we
Yeah,
have.
awesome.
What is, I believe, active now as of a couple days ago, which is the 157-pound bracket that we have here. So I want to throw it to you if there's anything you want to kind of touch on, elaborate. How long is the voting open for? Anything?
Yeah, so it's the 157 pound bracket because we in 1999, I believe the rules changed where they added that 7 pounds for weight cutting reasons, and so those weights relate the best when you break it down. So it's 10 weight classes coincide all the way through, 118, 125, all the way up through heavyweight unlimited. But we started at 1970 and worked forward from there. Wanted to give us enough wrestlers to draw 32 wrestlers from, and plus, research wise, you can still go back and find information. You can see videos of these 70s wrestlers even wrestling on YouTube. So when you start going back further than that, it's tough to really dig in and get good background information, which is what we wanted to be able to happen when you research these brackets. I'm glad to hear that, Zach, that you feel the need to go and make educated picks because
Well, hey, yeah.
that's
I don't
Hey,
want to be exposed. I'm not out trying to get exposed, but Wayne just
I got a
joined us,
quick
but
question.
Kevin's got something.
Oh,
Go to
Wayne.
Kevin.
Just real quick. I was wondering, what made you do the order that you're doing in, and is it going to be kind of sporadic going forward as far as like you started at heavyweight and then went mid? Is there any method that you're doing, or are you just kind of going order wise?
Yeah, great question, Kevin. I just sort of randomly, when I started this, I started with heavyweight, and nobody starts with heavyweight. So
Yeah.
since
No,
that was the
that's
first
cool.
bracket that I put together, I was like, let's start with heavyweight. And 50-57 I felt was a pretty strong bracket as well. So I thought it would be a good follow-up to the heavyweight. As far as that
Awesome.
goes, though, as a method, not really. I think we're going to do 125 next to let the cat out of the bag. I don't know if I had Clint's permission to give that away or not, but your listeners know that now. 118, 125 will be next, which, ultimately when you look at it, I guess it goes, heavyweight, heaviest, middle, and then
Middle
lightest,
light.
and then we'll start filling in the holes in between there, I guess.
Makes sense. Very cool.
All right, Wayne just joined us on the road. What are you calling in for, Wayne?
I thank you for taking my call, Zach. Look,
I feel
wanna say this
weird
to
calling you
Aaron.
Wayne, but go ahead.
Thank you, Aaron. We all absolutely love what you're doing. And Zach, I like you include teaming up with these other podcasts. That's a great idea, and I absolutely love it. And just want to tell Aaron that all of his work is appreciated, and keep it up.
Thank you, Wayne.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
They plan on it. Hey, keep up all that safe driving out there, sir. When are you getting back on the show? You had a week off last week again.
Now, wait, it wasn't my fault, Jack. You were the one out in China.
I like the
Down there
haircut, by the
visiting
way.
China or wherever you were. I'm not sure, but and by the way, folks, I'm in the roadways here. I'm here at work driving a truck. I can hear people right now. Oh, what's he doing? Look at him.
Look!
He's a risk. He's a risk. No, I'm in a parking lot
I
here.
can't watch this.
Everybody realizes how much of a risk it is listening to this show anytime they tune in already. Who are we kidding?
Hey, I'll shut up so Aaron can keep going. I want to hear more. Listen, I'm back Tuesday. I don't know if Zach will be there, but I'll be there. And I'm looking I got a lot to say.
Bam!
Well,
I can't wait.
First off, Your haircut is awesome.
And he's got a brand new haircut.
Hey,
So,
wow.
there's
Hey,
that.
Kevin,
Yeah.
does it make me look thinner? Be honest.
It
Do I
makes
look
you
a
look
little thinner?
awesome.
No, hey, look. Okay,
You're
I
looking
appreciate
good, my
that,
man.
Kevin.
Looking good.
All right,
Looking good.
all right.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
Take
See
it
ya.
easy, Wayne.
See you, Wayne.
All right. Just a quick call-in shout out to Aaron and Wrestle Madness there. The 157 or 50. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking NCAA wrestling terms here, but
Yeah.
it is 150, right? Correct?
To 157. To 157.
Yeah, 150, 157 combined. Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long are the polls open until in this weight class
They're
to
open-
vote on?
They're open up until 12 o'clock midnight on Sunday.
Okay, folks. So you have
We got
less
2
than a
more
week.
days to get the votes. Yes,
Less than a week. I see Lincoln, boy from the previous GOAT toy team, Iowa.
McElravy.
It's unbelievable because I made a special about him. I made a special about McElravy as the number 1 seed. Wow. I mean, is that who you're picking there, Aaron? Is that who you're picking, Kevin?
That is who I'm picking, and I'll tell you what. I got to see him. I went to the 1995 NCAAs. Was my first tournament in Iowa.
Look at him.
And it was the one NCAA that McElravy lost. He lost to Marionette, and I got to see that. That was pretty wild. Nobody expected that.
McElravy was part of that greatest team of all time out of Iowa, coached by Dan Gable, prior to this most recent season, Penn State breaking the record. But he was part of that squad. I know all about it.
And I do see Marionette is in this bracket too. And I was just wondering, Aaron, was it hard picking these brackets? Were there guys that were like, did you find yourself
ranking.
having to find guys to fill the 32, or did you find yourself having to cut guys out to put the 32? Do you know what I mean?
I unfortunately had to cut a couple people out. It worked out pretty close to being the exact number that I needed. But for example, this particular bracket, we had Ben Charrington comment on either the Wrestling Room or on Wrestle Matness's Facebook page that he the only one that was left out. So I had to touch base with him. I was like, man, I tried hard to get him in because he had a great title season, undefeated, I believe, and it was close. It was between him and JP O'Connor to get in, and he lost out just barely.
I think you made the right
good wrestler
choice.
Missed the cut, but
yeah,
Aaron, what is the criteria for ranking? So,
inevitably,
there's got to be.
Yeah, I had to formulate it so it didn't become emotional, right? So I went with NCAA titles, and then outstanding wrestler awards or Hodge trophies. They count the same in here, and if you want a Hodge and an outstanding wrestler, you don't get double for that. It just counts as one bonus point per se in the seeding rankings. And then moving on to other final appearances. So if you were in the finals once, twice, 3 times, but didn't win, that would bump you up in the seeding. And then other All-American placings would also be considered. And then finally, career record and, the peak season or their season that they won, that they had the best record or won their title in, would be used. So an undefeated season ranks pretty high.
Wow, Stat Kevin, do you agree with that? What do you disagree with in those rankings?
You know what? First I want to say this. It takes a lot of balls to do something like this because you're never going to make everyone happy, right? But one thing I will say this, and I think it's kind of gone unnoticed, is I don't see anyone complaining about the rankings or who's in or who's out. I don't see it. And that in itself is an amazing feat because anytime anybody puts something like this together, my bad. Anytime somebody puts anything like this together, people are complaining all the time about, oh, well, you left this guy out, you left that guy out. I think these seeds are brilliant. I really love them. I love the people that have been in these two brackets so far. I'm not going, oh, why is he seated here? I don't find myself doing that at all. So I think you guys did one heck of a job, and it really says a lot about the amount of time and effort you put into and thought into seeding these. So great job.
Yeah, I agree. Aaron, I just want to say one final thing. In the spirit of the political season, okay, I am going to see if I can myself personally start up my own group of influence to sway votes of an individual wrestler in your bracket, starting with this. I'm not sure who. I know Norfolk too. I love, and you know what? I might get a little coup together in the spirit of the
Love it.
politics. See if I can sway North to overcome Lincoln. How about that? Right?
I mean, our dream is to have Oklahoma State fans getting behind their wrestlers, and Penn State fans getting behind their wrestlers, and Goat Madness becomes this just social media chatter back and forth about who's the best and why. But even back to Kevin's point about the seating, even if we have had comments as to where's this guy, or why is this guy seated here, it's all good because it's all talk about wrestling. So
No,
you're absolutely right with that. And you did a really good job too of putting you don't have you're really getting guys from all different schools. So I'm guessing that has a lot to do with you wanting to incorporate fans from every single college. Am I right? To get in.
I mean, I'm grabbing the NCAA champions. I'm really at the mercy of who won between 1970 and today. But there's a lot of Iowa guys in this bracket. There's a lot of Minnesota guys in the heavyweight bracket. But it is what it is. It's who won their championship. And, it is what it's going to be who qualifies, I guess.
Well,
Again,
if it comes down to team spirit, I, up to this point, have been voting strictly off of stats. Plus, I have this element of era versus era comparison I do, Aaron, a little bit. Like, someone who I think is equivalent in this era, I'm going to vote to beat someone who I find the equivalent in an older era, just of evolution of sports and strength. But if it does come down to teams, I'm voting Iowa. I'm voting just all Iowa wrestlers. Lincoln. Come on, Lincoln. I mean, do I have to pull my weight for Lincoln to win this one?
All right.
I don't know. I feel like I might have to, because there's going to be a lot of North people out there. A lot of Penn State people, especially after hearing this, are going to be
So
going
who's your
and getting
semis?
in.
Who's your semis then?
Wow. Wade Chalice.
Mm-hmm.
Wade Chalice, I just saw him. I can't. I don't have my glasses on, Aaron. That's a problem.
You have the card, huh?
I got mine ready here.
Well,
right
I got to
here.
go
Let
with
me
my
go.
boy Wade Chalice. Just no matter
absolutely.
what. And Kevin, give yours while I look at it real quick, and I'll give you
All
mine.
right. For semis, I got Lincoln over Chalice, and then I got. I mean, I'm not really going too much against you here, but I got Nolf over Ryan Deacon.
Oh.
That one side of the bracket I just felt was really open. The one with Mark Girella in it, and maybe it's because I'm not as familiar with him as I should be. That very well could be. I could get a lot of probably hate comments from Michigan fans here,
right.
But yeah.
I got
What do you
Lincoln.
think, Zach?
I got Lincoln, Wade Chalice, Nolf, and I gotta look for my fourth. I'm gonna have to do a little more research. But while I do that, we actually, Aaron, I want to give you a chance to any final thoughts for anything, because Marty's on the line, and when Marty calls in, things tend to get a little wild. So, but he's in the green room as we speak. So I want to give you your chance any final thoughts.
Can I ask him something real quick?
Yep.
What was your favorite matchup, Aaron, or your favorite couple of matchups in this bracket when you were looking at it?
I loved the Dzik versus let me look at Heffernan.
Yep. Round one.
Diedzik being from Slippery Rock, which is 30 minutes from where I live.
Okay.
Chalice again being a Clarion guy. I'm a Pittsburgh kid, so these are colleges I visited. These are camps I went to. So, Heffernan, Iowa guy. He's coach of Illinois. That matchup I really found intriguing. I really liked the Monday versus Kinseth matchup in the first round. I thought that shouldn't have been a first round matchup. Those are two.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all studs, but
Absolutely.
Kinseth pinned his way through the NCAA tournament, and then everybody knows who Kenny Monday is. So those two really caught me off guard as far as first round matchups. I thought the Bono Desmarais matchup was pretty strong. Kind of from the same era, just missed each other, didn't overlap, but that'd have been a good battle to see.
Well, Aaron, listen, we're gonna have to have a call back in next Friday, so you can give us the updates on this weight class, and then open us up to next week's weight class, right?
Yeah, we'll talk 18 and 25, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, folks.
All right.
WrestleMadness.com. Go find them now. They're on the BEG Wrestling Facebook page. They're all over it. And go vote now. So your vote matters in the spirit of politics, political season, folks. Get on and go vote. Aaron, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Okay. Actually, yeah. All right. Wow. Okay, that was cool. That was
Kevin, awesome. I could talk about these. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yes. Now we just brought in. Whoa! Oh my goodness! Is that the sharpest looking man I've ever seen in my life? Marty to the show.
Tell him, I haven't seen him yet. Tell me. Oh, Dapper Dan.
Oh, Dapper Dan,
That's what I'm a Dapper Dan man. Exactly. I got the Dapper Dan. I don't wear fop. I wear a Dapper Dan.
Is this really you, or is this your brother?
No. This is the first call tonight. The second call's coming up when I get him. If he'll get on. I don't know. He don't like this whole podcast stuff. He's a little grumpy. He's grumpy.
He's a little grumpy, huh?
Yeah, my wife tells me, you just pay attention to the road. I says, I can't. I got BEG's on right now. It's the most important thing in our lives when we're on.
Oh, my God.
Dude, Marty, you're the man, dude. Clarify where you're going, what you're doing. You're on your way to a wedding.
One of my teammates, my best friend, Jim Kickles' daughter's getting married tonight, Kimmy. And we are on our way to we just went to the church. Now we're on our way to the reception. But I'm not going to let that get in the way of missing BEG. And I think everybody else should take my lead. When BEG is on, we are here. We are here.
Marty, I appreciate it. And you know what? You're taking the lead. Congratulations out there. You're going to a wedding.
Yep.
Beautiful family out there. You probably have a lot of weddings lined up, that you've been to.
It used to be every weekend. It used to be insane with all my kids, all my former athletes and stuff like that. It slowed down a little bit, but I think now everybody's kids are starting to get married. It'll start to pick back up. You got to bring that camera a little bit closer.
Sorry.
They got to see me. I'm dressed. You should see.
Oh, man.
He looks like a gosh darn movie star.
Ow!
My wife looks like a movie star. I know. You know what? I totally hit my field when I got this one.
Wow. How'd you swing her, Marty? I don't know. We'll save that for an episode she can't hear, I guess, right?
Here's what happened. I told her, we're at this bar, and I went up to her, and I'm talking to her.
Oh, my God.
And I said, I'm not the best looking guy here, but I'm the only one talking to you. So what do you think?
Wow.
Oh, man.
And it worked.
Is that a true story?
Yeah.
No.
Is that a compliment or an insult, or what is that? What is that pickup line?
It does sound like a left-handed remark.
So weird.
No. Okay.
I wouldn't expect anything different.
Oh, wow. Look at that. We lost Marty. Oh, boy. They're dicing it out over there, folks. I have a feeling he's going to call it back in for redemption.
Dude, I'm here like saying, Zach, can you not zoom up on my face so much? I'm trying to move my computer back. You got Marty like, come on, get the camera closer.
Marty's out there getting wild, man. I'm looking forward to a Marty and a Sean Bourmet update, and I didn't know if he was being a little James Bondish. He looked a little James Bondish when he's saying his brother. Sometimes he called Bourmet his brother, so I had a feeling I didn't know. I don't know what's going on. Now he's saying he might call back in. Okay, look, now he is calling back in. Okay, folks, so before we get to the Olympic betting lines, which you're going to want to pay attention because we got the smart money coming up, folks. We got the smart money on the line for the betting lines. But before that, even way more important, Marty is back. James Bond. I said, are you James Bond? I'm not sure.
You know what? He wears Flores 89 cologne, and I'm a Creed guy. But yeah, I've been mistaken for James Bond a couple times. People mistake me for science teachers, like you did the other day or last week or whatever it was. That's all right. So anyway, we're on our way to the reception. I'm going to dance the night away. It's going to be outstanding. It's going to be wonderful. I got the best looking girl in the country with me. I can't wait. I'm truly blessed.
I love them shades too. I love them shades she's got on. Those are bad shades. Those are awesome.
Yep, those are Nani glasses.
Marty, yours are all right. Yeah.
Well, mine are the old typical blue blocker. I like the yellow, but they also got the 3.5 readers in them, so I don't have to keep changing my glasses.
Yikes.
Fantastic,
Okay, Marty,
fantastic.
I got to be honest. I hate the yellow. We got to upgrade you, big dog, because you're a big dog now. You're on TV every week.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, that's a little better. Okay. Yellow makes me feel old. I don't know what it is. Oh, he missed the
the
turn.
Oliver people, $400 sunglasses. I'll throw these on just for you guys. Again, Polarized, Gregory Peck, To Kill a Mockingbird, all the great American novels.
Aren't we supposed to be talking about wrestling?
Yeah, we got to talk about wrestling real quick. Here's the thing. Let me be here to defend the old guys. Jared Hubbard in that bracket, two-time national champ, went to Joliet West High School where I used to teach. He was the head coach at Thornwood High School for a long time out by us. Absolute, I got it, honey. I'm watching. Absolute killer. Chirella, three-time national champ. I think he was 23 or 24 years old. He was the head coach at UNLV when they had a wrestling program. Absolute killer, especially on top. There we go.
Okay.
I mean, he was.
That's what she
said. His
said.
kids were good.
Boom.
His kids were good. He was even better.
Ew.
So, it's hard to pick winners. I had Carlton Hasselrig winning the heavyweight bracket, beating Bruce Baumgartner, because he was a six-time national champ. And people are like, well, how could he be a six-timer? He won Division IIs and Division Is. He was legit. He was like that.
Okay.
This bracket, you know what? I don't know how you pick against a guy like Kenny Monday or Lincoln McElravy. Are we using
It's
the
college
Olympic,
though. No.
Okay,
This is
so
just
college.
yeah. Yep.
If it's college, how are you going to go against these three-time national champs? I mean, it was Pat Smith was the first four-timer. Yeah. So the next criteria has to be the three-timers is beating some of these other guys. How do they not beat a one-timer or a two-timer?
Yeah, but Marty, are you taking into consideration the eras, the difference from the athletes now to then?
Oh, come on. You know what? Why are you... So you're saying that the athletes today are just better? That's always...
Well,
Yeah.
hold on.
That's exactly
Hold
what I'm saying.
Real quick. If you take those guys, though, you got to do this too. You take those guys and you put them in our era, right, where they have the nutrition, the facilities, the wrestling shoes, everything, the knowledge of the training and everything. Maybe they're completely different. It's tough to
Let me ask the
It's
question,
tough.
because we're going to use what you just said. Rocky 4, where he fights Ivan Drago. Who had all the technology, all the everything? Ivan Drago did. The training, the technology, the science behind it.
Hearts
Who
on
went old
fire,
school and was chopping
strong
wood?
desire.
Chopping
You
wood.
Hell
want me
yeah,
to
man.
explain this to you or not?
Go
Huh?
ahead. Go
Chopping
ahead.
the wood, shoveling the snow, in a log cabin with no heat, old school training, and who ended up winning? Who out toughed who when it came down to it?
Okay, so Marty's actually making the
Rocky.
case that the older athletes are actually better than the new athletes, and he
I'm
actually
making
just
the
made a
case-
very good case.
No, that's not what I said. I'm making a case that we cannot say that some of these old guys, just because they're from a different era, were no good. Or not that they weren't any good, but they would automatically lose our guys today. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
eventually
I would
when we
argue
get
that they were
Tom-
mentally tougher.
Mentally, maybe not
And that's
physically
Mentally
as strong,
tougher.
but mentally
That's
tougher.
why.
Mentally tougher.
You know what's going to happen when you have Dan Gable in his bracket or Tom Brands in their bracket, and they got to wrestle a kid like Guerrero or John Smith. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to pick against Dan Gable? I don't think anybody will, but
Yeah.
but that's an old. He was old. That's a whole different
Yeah, but
era.
Marty, let me say this though: if these brackets actually happened, Dan Gable, although likely would be the favorite, he would not just walk through like he would be less than a 50% chance to win it all. There's just too many people. There's too many people that are too good, right?
Have you?
I think that's the case in all the situations.
I agree.
Yeah,
yes.
If you take I mean, again, no disrespect, but if you've seen the match where Gable loses to Owens, you see the single leg he got taken down in. It was like your youth run the pike, get the leg. Like I'm looking at it, I'm going, there's no way this would work at this day and age. It's not anyone's fault. It's just wrestling has evolved so much. Like scrambling, they wouldn't know what to do with scrambling if you were just to enter, time lapsing over those.
We know what to do with scrambling. You know what the problem is? People keep their hips up, and they don't lower their hips when people are trying to roll through and put themselves on their back. I'm not a junk guy like that.
I will say this: if it was before 1970, and if you put a guy like just a bad like a Bill Cole in one of these brackets, it wouldn't even matter like the evolution. That guy was so like just a badass. He would just Rob Cole's dad, Bill Cole. Rob Cole is tough too.
Okay.
Bill Cole, he's the reason there's an illegal slam rule. He was slamming people so hard they had to make a rule. But there was some tough guys, back in the day. So, but I agree with Zach too, though. Like it's just if you take them and put them in now,
it's very unlikely if you're going the 1970s. Okay, but some of these guys from the 80s and the 90s, a lot of those guys, especially the Iowa guys, they're right there. You know what? My buddy Mike Stonich wrestled at Illinois when Mark Johnson and Heffernan took over. And they're in the weight room, they're lifting. And Stonich says to Heffernan, "Hey, coach, you want to jump in? You want to hit a set, with the weights?" And Heffernan goes, "When you're as good as me, you ain't got to lift." So, I mean, that mentality.
Sounds like something an old guy would say.
Yeah. All right, listen. Here's the deal. I'm not sleeping on Jarrett Hubbard or Chirella in that bracket, even though a lot of people don't know them. And you guys are going to say, "Oh, those are Michigan guys. That's why you're saying that." No, I'm not. I think the favorite, they got it right. The number one seed is McElravy. I think he definitely deserves it, no question. I was there when McElravy beat Bono in the finals. They're all those guys are amazing. Regardless of the era, they were all amazing. But it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun to sit back and say, "Oh my God, look at this." But Kenny Monday on the other side, McElravy on his side. And again, are we taking into account what they did internationally? It's
Nope.
like they didn't even have Kirk Drost. He's a one-time national champ from Michigan, but he won the Tbilisi tournament, who people say was tougher than the Olympics.
Yeah,
This
this is just college. This is not international.
Okay, so
yeah.
What do you think?
Go ahead.
What do you think about like how interesting is the Austin O'Connor Levi Haynes matchup, where it's Levi Haynes of this year, Austin O'Connor of last year? It's how much better did Levi Haynes get? That's what the answer is at, man.
Being that Austin O'Connor's got a little bit of my club's blood in him, he's always been defensive like that. He's never been real offensive, and I think that hurts him. I think Levi Haynes wins.
I would pick.
I think that it's a 1-1 match going into overtime, and I don't know, man. Austin O'Connor, he didn't get taken down that whole year. He was so much tougher than people give him credit for. I think
he's tough as nails. He is. He's an absolute pit bull. So, guys, I just got to the reception. Let me go find my brother. If I call back, oh boy, hang on, because the train, the night train is about to be running.
If you call back, Marty,
night train, crazy train.
If you call back, I'm putting it full screen to your camera, and I'm just letting it roll. How about that?
You know what? And I cannot control his language. Can
oh, Jesus.
My twin.
We'll let everyone know. It'll get a little X-rated.
No,
I got buzzed already.
It'll be chaos. He's Billy. In that bio I sent you, Zach, it said Marty was the brains of the operation. Billy was the muscle, and that was being kind. Billy would run the practice, and I would handle everything else.
Wow.
Keep him out of jail.
So we're about to see the muscle, folks. Potentially. There's the brain and the brawn, and we've only seen the brain.
Now there's two guys you got to body, Zach.
I don't know, man. He telling me how tough these old guys are. I don't know.
Oh, look at man. That. My wife looks like a gosh darn movie star today.
Yeah, she does.
You look like a movie star.
Oh,
all right. Listen, guys,
I'm representing.
He represents BEG, and I got my underwear on. Oh,
let's go.
I'm supposed to say that. Tonight's
He's wearing BEG underwear, folks. Oh, my goodness, Marty.
I might have to show these to everybody at the reception when I'm dancing.
Do it. Show them the BEG underwear, Marty. Go out of here on a high note, and if you call back in, we all know what's happening.
Yeah. Later, guys. How do you hang up?
Take it easy, Marty.
See ya. said, how do you hang up, dude? All right. Kevin, I only had one other topic, man. It's kind of the only topic I really wanted to talk about.
Gambling?
It's the gambling odds, and I'm actually going to put the music back on, folks. We got money in the building. Kevin, there are some absolute steals. Do you agree, folks?
Yeah.
I do sports betting sometimes. Well, whenever the sports happen, pretty much. And we have the opportunity to bet on wrestling right here, folks, in the Olympics, and the odds are out. Spencer Lee, 57 kilograms at plus 500 your money. You bet $100, folks. You're going to get $500 back. Actually, $600 back. You're going to make $500 if he wins gold. Zane, plus 900. Kyle Dake, minus 1,000. I believe he is the biggest single favorite in the entire wrestling Olympics. Kevin, I don't know if is that correct?
It's true. It's true.
The biggest single favorite. Kyle Dake, some competitors fell out. There's your betting money. America's at least bringing home one gold, right? Aaron Brooks is actually the number 2 favorite at the 86 kilograms. He's at plus 150 on your money, and what's his name is minus money. Your money bet is on Brooks, folks. In this, then we have Kyle Snyder at 97 at plus 300. Mason Paris plus 150. Hot dog! Wow, that surprises me. That means
especially since he's got to beat Petrofilia, and then he's got to beat Zari too. Like, you'd have to beat both those guys. So It's tough, you know.
Wow. Okay.
But
some odds.
I like Kyle
some are
Snyder. I
low.
like that bet. I like Snyder. I like Snyder for sure.
Snyder at plus 300. Let's break down what we think is the smartest money and what is the dumbest money bets. If you had to rank these,
I would. Yeah, that's a good idea.
If we had to rank these 6. Now, folks, we're going to take into consideration that, listen, that doesn't mean that everyone picks Kyle Dake number 1 because he's minus 1,000. So if you bet $100, you're only going to win, what, like $10?
You got to bet $1,000 to win.
So what's the smartest money? Like you have $100, you want to get some money back. You want to make some money.
I mean, Spencer Lee, man, Spencer Lee all day on this. I think
plus 500. Spencer Lee at plus 500 is way up there.
And then I like Snyder too because without Sadulayev in there, he's got. I know there's the Iranian too, but man, he's got to overcome one guy. I feel like he's got to overcome Taz. I like. I would say Spencer Lee would be my number 1 bet. Then I'd go Snyder. Then I'd go Brooks. Then I would go. Man, that's tough. I think I would go.
I'll say this before. Think about it. I'll say this.
Mason last. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go Mason last. I go Mason 6th. Let me start going from the other way. I go Mason 6th. I'd go Zane 5th. I just don't. A gold medal in that way is just brutal. Zane's awesome, but man, the matches he would have to put together. So I'd go Spencer Lee 1, Schneider 2, Brooks 3. I would go Dake 4th, Zane 5th, Paris 6th.
Okay. You said Dake 4th?
Yeah. I mean, I think
that's exactly what I had. And let me justify it because you're exactly right. We're talking smartest money here, folks. The smartest money means you risk versus reward. So, your number 1 is going to be Spencer Lee, plus 500. And they have to have a chance to actually win this, in my mind.
Yeah.
This is to win, period. This is not Spencer at plus 5. I think Spencer's got a very good, probably more than a 35% chance to win. And at plus 500 odds, that would be the number 1 smartest money, is Spencer Lee. Number 2 would be Kyle Snyder at plus 300 money. Now, again, as Kevin mentioned, very good chance of winning this. They have to have a chance. He has a very good chance. And you might be able to flip-flop number 1 and number 2 based on just the likelihood of winning. However, number 3, I got to go with Spencer. Yeah. Number 3, I would go with Brooks. Okay, there's one main competitor on the other side. But you're getting plus money with Brooks, okay? He definitely has a chance to win, and you're getting plus money with him. That makes him number 3. Okay.
And just not to interrupt, but we don't know what side he's going to be on. But you're right. There's just one guy he's got to wrestle. One guy he's got to wrestle.
One guy that you're like, okay, I don't know if he can beat. Okay, and then you have to resort to Kyle Dake. Why? It is minus 1,000. That is terrible money, but they have to win for you to get your money.
Yeah.
Kyle Dake's going to win. That is why I think Spencer can win, Snyder can win, Brooks can win, and it's smart money because they're plus odds. At that point, I think we're not likely to win, and that's where you got to take your money at Kyle Dake at minus 1,000. Then I have Zane, only because it's plus 900. That is a high number. And then I have to recap at finally Mason Paris at plus 150. I love Mason Paris. I think he does have a chance to win, but at not the favorite and only getting plus 150 and Zane's getting plus 900. That's such an extreme. I have to rank Mason Paris last in that list. Not saying I don't think he has a chance to win, because he might have as good a chance as anyone here other than Kyle Dake. But smartest money, there's other competitors in that weight class. Kevin, do you disagree? Obviously, you agree. You had the same rankings.
And with Paris, I would bet he will get a medal. He's going to medal. Mason Paris will medal. But the odds, you're not getting enough money return out of that, And
Now
then,
these odds will change. Maybe we'll do a weekly leading up to the Olympics. I'm going to re-release all the interviews that I did up there at the training week.
Good idea.
Leading up to the Olympics. Good idea. And maybe in addition on the Friday shows, we'll do a weekly smartest money on the odds as they change, because they're going to change, folks. Yeah.
And if you guys haven't seen these interviews, listen, I'm not a big interview guy. When I'm watching content, I generally just like to watch news. I'm serious. I don't like watching interviews. I feel like a lot of them are the same questions over and over with the cliche answers. But Zach, I got to hand it to you. You really thought outside the box on a lot of these. You weren't afraid to ask questions, and it made it really enjoyable. But yeah, you weren't rude. Everyone felt very comfortable with you. So I really recommend, even if you don't like interviews a lot like me, watch these interviews because they're really great.
Well, Kevin, thank you, and I appreciate that. But I won't go without handing you a compliment because you were the info guy in the background. So I was getting thrown these interviews like I didn't know who I was getting, and I needed stats. I needed to know info. You were the guy I was asking, hey, man, can you send me details? Well, Mike Mock. I need the back. I need like the elevator pitch. Well, Mike Mock, give me. Kevin's in the background the whole time, feeding me. So, hey, man, that's why we're a team. B-E-G.
That's right, man. It worked good.
It's a group, baby.
It worked out well.
Group. So,
Zach, did you happen to, I don't know if it's too late to throw it up, or did you get the message? There was the 65 kilogram odds. I don't even know if you can pick that up.
I just put it up. Yep. So we're up,
dude. This is such a disaster. Like, okay, first of all,
explain what this is, because there's not clarify to the audience what this is before you dive in, because there's not any detail on the picture. So I just want to make sure everyone understands.
Okay, so this is 65 kilograms. All the wrestlers at 65 kilograms, which is always the deepest weight at every Olympics.
This is the betting odds at the Olympics, folks. Go ahead.
Yep, for all the 65. Now, I'm looking at this. The first thing that pops out of me is the Russian's not even going to be there, right? And then Sebastian Rivera plus 300? Like, what? Now, listen, I know he got a silver medal, but that doesn't mean that he's like, that you just go and you toss him in as, you don't just toss him in as the second
dumb
best
money.
odds.
Let's start a dumb money segment too. That's number one on dumb money.
Okay,
you don't take Sebastian Rivera at plus 300.
Sebastian Rivera,
throw money away.
He got, he's been very good at getting into the right side of the bracket. He goes to the ranking series events. He gets ranking points, but he's been teched by Joey McKenna 3 times. He's been teched by Nick Lee twice. He was teched by Yanni at Worlds in 22 in under a minute in the semis. He's still awesome, but what I'm saying is he got Musakayev. Musakayev crushed him in the final, and Musakayev had dogfights with a few of the guys, the Iranian, the Russian, where he had to have, look at that bracket last year. Musakayev had to go beat the defending Olympic champion, Odaguru. He had to defeat the defending world champion, the Iranian. He had to defeat the Russian, Russia had 9 out of the top 20 guys in the weight ranked. And then he had Seabass in the final, right? Where Seabass didn't wrestle one guy that even got a medal ever, a world medal ever on that side. So I don't know why they did that. How can he be a better odds than the Iranian? Amuzad, how can that be? I mean, what? So looking at this, man, I'll tell you what. I'm.
Can you hear the sound?
Dude, it's driving me out of my mind, man. But I'm just.
All right, dumb money bet number 1. Do not bet Rivera. I wasn't even sure if you could hear the sound effects, Kevin, or if they're working. So I just kept hitting it. But
another thing is when you're looking at the odds overall, like for the Americans, you're looking at Zane. You're like 900. Some people are like, that's so disrespectful. But look at the odds, for all these guys. I mean, Musakayev's the defending champ. He's plus 125. There's not one wrestler that's minus, and Aliyev is 2,500. I mean, freaking Gomez 4,000. You know who I really like, Zach? And I mean, the Cuban Valdez. He is tough, man. He beat Zane at World's first round a few years ago. He gave Yanni a really good match. If you're just like, what the heck? Plus $10,000?
That's smart money.
Why not?
That's
Yeah,
smart money.
Who cares? Just throw some there.
And this is wrestling, folks. Let's not act like nothing can happen, dude. Seriously. You know what I mean? Like, Kevin,
Yeah,
while I have you, we had a comment here. I'm going to read it. Put it up on the screen from Dreamin'. What do you guys think of the Caden Henschel Muggsy Bullock match? Okay, what is that? Beat the Streets? What are they wrestling on?
I don't even know, man.
I watched it. I watched their live face-up. I'm looking forward to it. That looks like it's going to be a dogfight. I don't know what exactly that's on, like Friday. It's on Beat the Streets.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, it's a
Beat the
Caden
Streets
Henschel.
just happened.
Okay. Well, don't.
I don't know. We're gonna have to check. We're gonna have to get back to you on that one.
We're gonna back to you on that one. Anyway, I'm actually
Zach.
actually, in fact, Dreamin', you're in the comments. Why don't you clarify where we can see that match?
Yeah, just tell us.
Because I
Zach,
did watch them. Go ahead, Kevin.
No, I'm sorry, dude. I keep cutting you off. That's obnoxious.
You're saying watch them what?
What if you're looking at the 65 thing right now, though? What two? If you had to pick two to bet on, what two would you bet on?
Well, you did press that with if I was looking at 65, which I'm not.
Because I'm looking at the.
It is
I'm
Beat
looking at
the
this,
Streets
right,
in
and I'm
Cleveland.
like,
Dreaming all
it
over
is.
the place.
So they have
man.
another Beat the Streets.
Oh, yeah,
Beat the
they're
Streets
having it in Cleveland,
yeah.
dude. Caden Henschel,
can have
Caden
100 of
Henschel
them, right?
getting his name out there. He's out there at Claw. He's out there now. Beat the Streets. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, he's a good
Let me
dude.
tell you something, Kevin. Now, as we wrap this show up, and I haven't even talked, really. Now, I respect dogs out there, okay? Caden Henschel's out there being a dog. He's wrestling. He's out Claw. I respect that, man. I respect him being
Absolutely,
a dog
I
out
agree.
there. And, my goodness, let's go out to Cleveland. When is that? 10-5. I could.
That's not far from me. That's only like 5 hours from me.
That is.
Oh, by the way, are you coming up to training camp? It starts next week, man. It goes for 3 weeks.
With Gable.
All right.
You want to watch Gable?
Yeah.
Yeah, folks. Also, I'm reaching out to West Virginia because I'm gonna go down and get them a couple days in their wrestling room if they let me, because they're right down the road from me. But here's the deal, folks. BEG Wrestling can be in your wrestling room. Okay, like we're wide open, dude. I can go live stream. We can do pre-recorded things. Anything and everything at your convenience, no intrusion implied. You know what I mean? Not trying to, but we're trying to grow access for the sport, essentially.
Get your name out there to more recruits, right? Get some,
right.
Get some.
I had other things, but Marty is calling back, and I did say,
boy.
Kevin, if you want to leave, I don't know where this is going, folks. No one knows.
I'll try and hang on for a little bit.
Let me see
if you see me gone. Just know I'm gone.
See if I can get him back in here. Marty apparently has called back in, folks, and this is just—he's here. Oh my!
Are we
goodness.
back? Are we here?
He's back, dude. Marty is back. Marty, you're here.
He's back.
This is all the non-believers. All the non-believers. There he is.
Whoa!
That's one. That's the one you don't want him.
That's the brawn.
That's the bro.
Okay, can I ask him a question?
Yeah, I don't know if he'll answer you though. He don't like talking too much. Go ahead.
Okay. Marty has clarified that he is the brains, and you are simply nothing but muscle. Is that true?
Marty, he would whoop your ass.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Look, we're gonna get Marty in trouble out there.
What do you bench? Nothing. Not enough. Not enough, he says. I says, what do you bench these days? He goes, not enough. So there's a lot of debate about the old-time wrestlers like Chirella and Hubbard and them guys compared to the guys today. And they're like, oh, the guys today, they have all the training and they pay attention to their food and they're wrestling year-round. And I said, yeah, but guys, those old-time guys, they are hardcore. What do you
mentally think? Tough.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Okay, he's a man of many words, Marty. How about this? Hand the phone to your wife, and I want to see.
We're outside.
Well, get her. I want to see you two wrestle, and she can hold the phone. Now, you two wrestle. Line it up right now.
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
You don't want it to happen there, brainiac Marty. You little nerd teacher. Oh yeah, you get around the brawn. Marty ain't so tough, folks.
All right, listen, see, now you pissed him off. He goes, what's this guy talking about, nerd teacher? Listen, Dad.
I'll talk about Marty. I don't want to mess with.
Yeah,
I don't want to mess with your brother,
we're
Marty.
cool with. We're cool with your brother,
here's the other
man.
thing.
I'm cool with your bro.
Illinois wrestling compared to like Pennsylvania.
There's Fargo champs that don't win state in Illinois.
Yeah, Fargo
Oh.
champs that don't win state in Illinois.
Okay.
That's just how it is.
That came from Bormet's mouth. He said that.
Yeah, that came from our boy Sean.
Oh. Well, you
It
know
is
I'm
what
from
it is,
Pennsylvania there, Illinois.
What do you think about that?
That's one.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right,
That's
we gotta
wonderful.
Go back. It was-
I'm coming. I'm coming out there, Marty Bros. I'm just telling you right now, you're getting me fired up every time you call in.
you can stay with him when you come out.
Done. Yeah, that's because dogs know dogs, Marty.
Hey,
All right,
thanks
Marty's
for coming
gone.
on the show,
He's gone, man. He's Marty's probably getting in trouble out there, dude. All right.
dude. That wasn't it funny that every time his brother answered, he would answer again. Like he'd be like,
His
"They don't win. They
brother's
don't win.
about to beat
Fargo
him
champs
up.
don't win states in Illinois." He goes, "Fargo champs don't win states in Illinois."
All right, dude. Kevin, you got anything
They're
else, man?
identical.
I'm tired.
No, man, that's it. That's
I'm done.
it.
Folks.
Yeah, this has been a long show, hour and a half. So
Yeah. All right. Hey, that was fun, man. We had good
job,
stuff.
though. Good
and
job.
it's the off season.
yeah, Zach,
So-
I enjoyed this.
Hey.
This, man. We're getting some content out still.
Yeah.
And check out Zach's Penn State video. if
Oh,
you
that's
haven't
right,
already.
folks. Like and subscribe, by the way. Should have mentioned that an hour and a half ago. Yeah, and I did a lot of work on a Penn State law of reversed effort theory. You know, and it got no views. So pointless.
Dude, it was good, man. People will see it. It will cycle through. And I just need you to check my Hodge video. I need you to go
Let's
through
go.
and make sure
Kevin
everything's
Hodge video
okay.
coming out soon, folks.
And
Kevin.
this video is bad. It's awesome. You guys are gonna love this video. Watch it.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. Folks, thank you for joining. Kevin, thank you for being here. And
Thanks,
folks,
Zach.
until next week, man, this has been fun. And like and subscribe. This is BG Wrestling. We'll see you again next week.
Peace.